obviously, as you guys know, Velma has been out for a few days now and is being completely trashed by everybody, critics, audience. Nobody likes this. Everybody's just going nuts over this show and the fact that it's just completely destroying another beautiful TV animated series from our childhoods that they just had to put their disgusting hands on and completely destroyed in every way imaginable and insert themselves into the show because Mindy Kaling needs something to tell everybody how much she hates white people. Essentially, I mean that's basically what this show is. It's a way for Mindy Kaling to come out and tell everybody how much she hates white people, how much she hates straight people. Even though I think she's straight in real life, I'm not really sure. I don't follow people's sexualities that much, but yeah, apparently she hates white people, she hates straight people, she hates all this stuff, and she uses this show as a way to explain that to people who otherwise would not be able to listen or be forced to listen in this scenario. Now, with that being said, Velma has actually toppled Dragon Ball Evolution and has taken the record for IMDb's worst audience score ever for anything. Yes, Velma is so bad that it beat Dragon Ball Evolution. Seriously, Dragon Ball Evolution was known for such a long time to be that terrible show, that terrible movie, that terrible adaptation that all other adaptations are basically compared to see how bad it is. Dragon Ball Evolution has now been toppled by Velma. Isn't that insane? And ironically, the ones who to report on this were CBR.com. So let's get into this. It says Velma topples Dragon Ball Evolution's record of IMDb's worst audience score. And according to its IMDb reviews, HBO Max's adult-oriented Scooby-Doo spin-off, Velma does not sit well with fans of the original franchise. Well, to be honest with you, Velma doesn't sit well with anybody, not just fans of the original franchise. It's literally anybody, even people who never watched Scooby-Doo in their life, even though I don't really know many people who haven't seen Scooby-Doo at this point. But let's say you didn't watch Scooby-Doo, even those people don't like Velma. That goes to show just how terrible this show actually is. It says, after more than 10 years on the throne, Dragon Ball Evolution has to hand down the crown for the most unpopular screen entertainment product on the Internet Movie Database to HBO Max's new animated show, Velma. Several users on Twitter pointed it out. Dragon Ball Evolution has fallen, or rather moved up. With its low audience score of 2.5 out of 10 at the time of writing, it was no match for the adult Scooby-Doo spin-off Velma, which comes at a lowly 1.3. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my God. 1.3 is such a terrible score. Wow. That is crazy. That's like literally 2.5 looks like a great number compared to 1.3. I mean, Velma is just such a terrible show is that the world is universally against it, and that rarely happens. You know what I mean? Like if Velma can get two opposite countries to stop going to war, I guarantee you it would, because everybody would agree that Velma is that trashy. It says individually, the two episodes available so far only did marginally better, having been given scores of 2.7 and 2.3 respectively. The low IMDb scores mirror the show's audience reception on Rotten Tomatoes, which is also like a 7% or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes. It's terrible. In user reviews, viewers criticize Velma's lack of the Scooby-Doo spirit, as well as the lack of Scooby-Doo himself, which I've said multiple times, like, you're a Scooby-Doo spinoff, right? Where the hell's the dog, right? Where is the dog? And I guarantee you they're gonna turn the dog into some form of like a human and try to do some sort of identity politics with it. It's gonna be stupid. Several reviewers wondered what kind of audience the show's creators had in mind, since it didn't seem like a good fit for the tastes of people who like the older, family-friendly show. But even fans who had no reservations about turning a beloved kids cartoon from the 1960s into a raunchy adult animation show found fault with this particular raunchy adult animation show, criticizing not so much the nature of the jokes, but their perceived lack of quantity in quality. Well, yeah, I've said it multiple times, and if you guys, I'm sure a lot of you have seen my reviews because those reviews have a lot of views on it, so thank you for that. But in my reviews, I say all the time, like, the show is literally just not funny. There's nothing funny about the show. I try to go in there with a clean slate mentally, like I do with every show, and I try to look at it and see, like, is there anything funny in this? Like, I understand it's trying to be a comedy, right? There's nothing funny in it, nothing whatsoever. Like, the entire show is just trash, man. Like, every single joke is the same joke over and over. Fred is white. Fred is rich. He has a small dick. Like, this is the same stuff they constantly say all the time, and they expect you to laugh at it every single time. And it's not funny. It's just not funny. Like, it stops me. Even if it was funny, it would stop being funny after the first or second time, and they do it over and over and over again. They rely on those tropes every single time. It says, outside the world of unamused fans, Velma fared somewhat better. While it wasn't a runaway hit with professional critics either, their reviews seemed more on the average than the bad side, praising the show's potential while lamenting it wasn't fully reached. Whether disliked or not, Velma so far has been a ratings hit for HBO Max and might already be up for a second season. And apparently that's true. They are going to be releasing a second season already of this show. And it brings up the whole conversation about hate watching, right? So a lot of people bring up this conversation. I remember watching a video from Moist Critical about the whole hate watching thing. And the thing about hate watching, in my opinion, is that if I watch this show, right, as a reviewer, if I watch this show and other people watch the show through me, I have now convinced thousands of people at the minimum to not watch this show. So they got one view instead of thousands. You get what I'm saying? I don't necessarily go. I don't really think hate watching is a thing, because as long as people watch it through the reviewer and not through the actual service, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, what these shows allow people to do is that people like myself, it allows me to reach people who are like-minded to me, right? So it allows me to reach an audience who thinks like me similarly anyway. Sure, we can have disagreements like on The Last of Us, for example, but we can still reach each other in ways that we otherwise would not have been able to reach each other. YouTube tends to push those negative videos like that, so it allows me to reach people and garner an audience. And that's why I like reviewing shows that are like that. I like reviewing shows, period, just to throw that out there. But shows like this, like Velma, really bring in like-minded people together. And that's why I like doing it, even though I fucking hate that show. Like when I'm watching that show, it's literally, I feel my brain bleeding. That's how terrible it is. To compare it to cancer would be insulting to cancer. You know what I mean? Like, it's that level of bad. But I do it because it stops views from going to HBO Max from other people, and it also allows me to garner an audience of like-minded people who enjoy my content and want to stick around for other videos. So that's why I do it, and that's why a lot of people do it in the YouTube space, and that's why I don't think hate watching is necessarily a bad thing. It says, besides their lack of popularity with IMDb users, Velma and Dragon Ball Evolution have something else in common. Both are new interpretations of a well-established franchise with passionate and opinionated fans. Dragon Ball Evolution dates back to the manga Dragon Ball created by Akira Toriyama in 1984. The fantasy tale about a group of friends searching for legendary Dragon Balls that can summon a wish-fulfilling dragon have since been expanded into a multimedia franchise incorporating several manga and animated series, animated films, video games, and theme park attractions. Dragon Ball Evolution is so far the only live-action adaptation it made only about half of its $58.2 million budget back. And that's really pathetic, man. Your budget was $58 million and you only made half of that. That goes to show how bad this show was, man. It really goes to show, well, it should be say, that goes to show how bad that movie was, not this show. But yes, Velma is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. 2 more episodes are releasing at the time of this video's release, so I will be doing reviews on it. Stick around for that, guys. Check it out. Do not give HBO Max the view. Watch it through myself or watch it through your other favorite YouTubers. If they're reviewing the show, give them the view. Don't give HBO Max the view. That way, if you want to hate watch something, you can at least be productive and help people grow the channels that they enjoy. And that way, you can garner an audience of like-minded people that you can have a conversation with, and it'll be a good time. So that's why I enjoy doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.